So you're the guy that's got the most expensive Pokemon card, right?
Not me anymore, that's Logan Paul now. One of my relatives and us, he's the one who sold it to him. I believe that nothing is impossible. You know, even impossible spelt I am possible. For us, sky is not the limit. Now we say Mars is not even the limit.
Roughly, how much is your whole collection worth?
It's worth the right amount to the right person. The Superman one I have and then some other books that I have, I wouldn't sell them for $1 million. I mean, a lot of people hate, you know, but if someone talks about you, you're probably doing something right. If you're not number one, you're the first loser.
Welcome back to another episode of Cashflow Convos. Today we are here in Dubai with the one and only Dr. Rashed Al Farooq. How you doing, brother?
Good. Salaam alaikum. How are you guys doing?
Walaikum salam.
Thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for taking your time out and coming on our podcast to share your story. Tell us about who you are and what you do.
Well, I'm a proud Emirati. I'm from the United Arab Emirates, and the family's into different businesses. But for myself, I started a pop culture group about almost 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And, we're here. That's what it is today. So we do, we have a coffee shop, comic book store in different places in the UAE. Other than that, we do the Comic-Con version of ours, which is called PopCon Middle East. We did last year. We had about 27,000 people that attended that.
Wow!
And we had big stars like Chris Hemsworth, Stephen Amell, Katie Cassidy, some stars from Stranger Things, a lot of voiceover actors. The voiceover actor of Pokémon.
Wow.
Veronica Taylor and some Demon Slayer, which is a big hit at the moment in the anime world, over and stuff.
Okay, cool, nice.
So tell us a bit about how your passion for comic books started.
Well, at a very young age, my family was one of the first families that were sent to the UK to study, and I was always very curious about superheroes, and like any other kids, we always loved to be a superhero. So me growing up, Spider-Man, Superman were the two main superheroes that I loved. Now, I love them as well, plus Batman and Captain America probably. But, I would go across and I would see these Superman comics outside a place called Forbidden Planet. And I would I'd force my dad to go inside and see if we could buy any of these comics. And an Amazing Fantasy 15, which is like the first appearance of Spider-Man, at that time was worth about £500, and I wanted the book and my dad wouldn't let me. So an older gentleman there who owned Forbidden Planet would give me these books to read for free. And I would go back, read the book, and then, have my dad take me there the next day and try to buy comic books. And that's what started it all. That book today is probably worth $3.2 million. That's the first appearance of Spider-Man.
Was that the first ever book that he was
First ever appearance of Spider-Man. If you've heard Stanley talk about it, they were going to cancel the character, and he tried his luck with the Amazing Fantasy series, and it just took off from there. But after that, I came back, and my passion for comic books. I had over 30,000 books, and about 10 years ago, my wife is like, Rashed, we need to do something about your books. You find them under the table, you find them under the bed, in the bathroom. So, we thought it would be a good idea to do something with it. So my son's like, let's take part in the Comic-Con at that time. We took part in it, did really well. We became the Meet the Star sponsors, brought all the celebrities, to come over and, be a part of the success of Dubai. And that's how it all started.
So you created a community, and you want to build a community in the comic world. Is that correct?
Well, one of the people. Obviously, we can't forget other players that really really played a part, like Comic Cave in Dubai, Comic Stop, Geekay. You have Little Things. Some of the big boys, Virgin Megastore. They've all contributed to the success of building the community. Here, Middle East Film and Comic-Con, we were their sponsors and partners for about 7 years before we did PopCon ourselves. and obviously Speedy Comics and Cafe. But we were the first people to start the concept of comic book store and a coffee shop in one place. That's us.
Yeah, I also know you've got your own sort of comics like Khalifa. I've seen that. What kind of inspired you to start your own characters?
You see, when I was young, I had a dream. I wanted to be a superhero. And I see a lot of children and kids nowadays always strive to be superheroes. So I thought to myself, my family, my son Amir, my son Ahmed, my daughter Mariam, Dr. Sharifa, and our partner Noor Al-Awadi, who helped us with her inspiration with the comics and stuff. We went together with her to create Khalifa verse, and it's about an orphan who's from the UAE who becomes a superhero, and then he has obviously, if you can see, Luke, Kaboom, and Deco. These are our real life actually. That's our puppy, and that's Noura's rooster.
Okay.
So we created, based on them, characters for our comic book verse. But we wanted to see and give back to the the demographics around the region. So we made sure that there are characters from India, from Pakistan, from China, obviously from the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the Levant. Bringing back things and trying to do things from our side instead of always going and going after Marvel or DC or anything else. Yeah. We wanted to try to inspire young generation and talent from from this region.
That's good because the majority of comics are from the US, aren't they?
Yes, so that's where everything started. Like Superman was created by Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel, two German Jewish German immigrants. Yeah. And the case was that it was started. Superman's story is very strange. It's actually the story of Jesus Christ. It was derived from Jesus Christ. It's strange, but this is the truth. And the way these people were treated at the time of the World War, whatever it was, but that's how Superman came into being. And superheroes came into being. So that's the start of comic books out of America. But we here in the region and obviously Dubai, we're people that are people of love. Our rulers, are the best rulers in the world. I'll have to say, we're probably the envy of a lot of people around the world. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the families, they inspire us to try to achieve everything or anything, and that's how we've been brought up.
Yeah. So what's your target audience for the business you've created?
Well, it's from children to young adults and even older people, depending on what you want. We have things for kids.
Yeah.
We have things for children, from Pokémon cards, to comic books. But I believe in vintage stuff, so I believe in old story books. And that's why in our stores you'll find stories from the 70s, Silver Age books, Golden Age books, and then you have the hardcore collectors, that like to buy and collect. We played a part in a few things, like these Pokemon cards that sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars and stuff. We've done a few deals with people, and obviously big books that we have. Yeah. Once the vault is back, we would love you guys to come and have a look at that.
So you're the guy that's got the most expensive Pokemon card, right?
Well, I'm not me anymore. That's Logan Paul now.
I thought it was Logan Paul.
But we one of my relatives and us, he's the one who sold it to him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
did you originally have that, or
not me? My relative did. He's the one who sold the card.
Yeah. What's the price tag on that?
The price tag that was quoted was about $5.2 million.
Wow.
I think about that much. Yeah, not mistaken.
Yeah, I see him wearing it. He wears it like a pendant.
Yeah, he wears he wears it before going to every match in WWE and stuff.
So in a wrestling match.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. But how much, roughly, how much is your whole collection worth?
Well, it's very hard to put a price tag on it. But the thing is, depending on the books, for example, you have a Batman number 6 here. Yeah. This book is from 1941. It's worth a couple of thousand. Depending on the grade and on on the scarcity of the book. But it all depends on is worth the right amount to the right person. Like the Superman one I have, and then some other books that I have, I wouldn't sell them for $1 million. Depends on, not selling them. It depends on how am I going to get them back again.
Okay.
That's the problem.
So they're very rare.
They're very, very,
Products
very
are
priceless. This is the main problem when trying to sell something. So that's why I have a lot of seller's remorse. That's what they call it.
Okay, nice.
What would you say are some of your most popular or famous memorabilia?
I think it's the comic books and a lot of the Funko Pops. Like, for example, we have this one signed by Robert Downey Jr. himself.
He's got a signature on there.
Yeah, that's signed by him. And it says, "I'm Iron Man." That was remarked for me.
Where did he sign that?
This was sent to America. And a very close friend of mine, Bob Layton, who co-created the allure of Iron Man, and he created Ant-Man, War Machine, he helps out with a lot of these kind of things and gets me a lot of signatures and stuff like that. But he's a close friend, and a lot of the stuff, my love for comics, I think, would be also a lot has to do with him, And another friend of mine, Des Taylor, he's actually from the UK. He did this for me. This is a rendering of the Flash. Yeah, so you guys should for sure follow him, Des Taylor, and
I'll
Bob
go check
Layton.
it out.
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He does a lot of pop-up kind of, art.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love that kind of art. So, yeah.
So what other kind of signatures do you have of do you have any other actors?
Well, if you look up here, that is signed by Andrew Garfield, and I don't know if that's showing, but it's signed by Andrew Garfield and Stan Lee. I have a lot of signatures. I have signatures from the creators of Superman, the guy who created Captain America, Joe Simon.
Wow.
That's a very, very rare signature. I have stuff by Kirby, Jack Kirby, That's on an Avengers 1 book, which the book by itself is quite big. Yeah. Many things. That's what I do. My personal collection is all signatures,
Signatures, yeah.
If we keep talking about it, it won't end till tomorrow. So yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's talk about your secret vault that's going viral on Instagram.
Yeah, it's
what is that? Where did that come from?
Well, that was an idea that me and my wife came up with, Dr. Sharifa, and we said we wanted a person that comes into our store, we wanted them to have a journey. Yeah. It's all about understanding what comic books are and how comic books came into place, and what happened and stuff like that. So we have everything from, a dollar bin book, like we call them, up to a couple $1 million, depending on what you want. So it's more of a museum, you pay to get into the vault.
Yeah.
And depends. Like in one of the videos that I made, it's the vault chooses you, you don't choose the vault. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
is that open to the public then?
It's open. It depends. Like I said, it depends. Okay. If the vault wants you in, then you'll find a way to get in. Yeah. But people have to pay to get into there. And we have a lot of memorabilia. We have stuff signed by a lot of people, things that you've never seen. We have books in Arabic. We have books signed, like I said, by the creator of Superman, the creator of Captain America, the guy who created Batman, Bob Kane, signatures from him. Yeah. I have a big collection of Funko Pops signed by every celebrity that you could think of. You name it. Yeah. I have a prop which is the Star Wars Luke Skywalker lightsaber from the movie. I can't fit it in the vault, but I have my own Batmobile from the 1989 movies. I bought that off on an auction. When I feel like Batman, I drive that sometimes.
So you got the actual official?
Yeah, I do. From the 1989 and 1990 movies. Yeah. When I feel like being Batman, I drive that.
Yeah, that's nice. So when did you first create the actual vault then?
About 5 years, almost 5 years ago.
5 years ago.
The concept came up with 5 years ago, and then it just grew from there. And the legend of the vault, you can say, grew from there. We've had people like all big celebrities, superheroes. Brandon Routh, who played Superman, came to the vault. Yeah. Kevin Sussman, who plays Stuart on Big Bang Theory, he has a comic book store. He came to the vault.
You had Andrew Tate, I believe, come to see Superman. Superman comic.
Andrew Tate is a lovely gentleman. Yeah. I don't know, I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this or not, but he's an amazing guy. He came to the vault, and he was shocked. The stuff that he saw. and he's like, he never thought it would be like the way it was, because when you think of Vault and comics, you think of geeks and stuff like that. It's not just that, obviously they're there, but then you have the serious collectors. Like, we accept crypto. Nobody else accepts crypto. We accept crypto if you want to buy stuff. And Andrew loved it, and he's a big Batman fan, by the way.
Yeah.
So that was a good thing from him. I'm really, really, really grateful that he came. We had Carl the Moon, who came to our store. That video had about 20 million views. He's the guy who bought his Bugatti with Ethereum.
Yeah.
So that was nice. And then Da Vinci is a friend of mine who tells people to buy Bitcoin for $1. Please buy it for $1. Have you seen those videos?
Yeah.
So all these guys, we're a little tight knit.
So you've got a lot of
friends.
community influencers coming to your
all the time.
Vault and
All the time.
Nice.
So how does it feel like having those kind of, or actually meeting the actor that played Superman and actually meeting like the real life actors that play these comics?
I met Chris Hemsworth. Obviously, we brought him last year. Sweetheart. Such an amazing guy. A lot of these actors are very nice people. Brandon Routh himself was unbelievable. I met him. I met Stuart from Big Bang Theory. He was a blast. He was a blast. They really love their fans, and that makes people like myself really want to keep doing the things that I do.
It's your passion, isn't it?
It's my passion, and it lets me do things with my kids, with my friends. When I started all this stuff, people were laughing. What are you gonna do with comic books, stuff like that? Now, because of the movies and stuff, it's made such a big difference.
It's a big market out there.
It is
a lot of audience, big audience.
It's a big market. Unfortunately, a lot of movies and places have a lot of backlash recently because of different situations. But like the Flash movie, the movie was unbelievable. It's not doing that well in the box office, unfortunately. But I think it could have been better received. But that stuff all depends on how you promote your product.
Yeah. So have you ever been to the Comic-Con event in America?
I have.
Yeah.
I have been there, been to different Comic-Cons all around the world, obviously. Like I said, we worked very closely with Middle East Film and Comic-Con, and we were the Meet the Star sponsors for years. And then we did Popcorn last year because we wanted to give something to the fans, something different. We felt that other conventions around us had lost the soul of the Comic-Con. Yeah. So the one that we did, was from the fans for the fans. Nice. And that I think made a big difference. It was a little bit shaky in the beginning. Obviously, it was the first time doing it by ourselves. But by the fourth day, I was very happy with the outcome. And we're doing something amazing. You're the first people actually to find out about it. On July 28th, 29th, 30th, we have the voiceover actor of Ash Ketchum from Japan, the voiceover actor of Pokémon, coming. Yeah. So her by herself is a superstar. I mean, her last, I think she did a podcast or something and 20 million views on the first day. I mean, she's big. She's a legend. Yeah. Rika is unbelievable. She even does the theme song for Pokemon, Pokemon.
So
gotta catch them all. Yes, So she's unbelievable. Yeah,
that's good. So your event, is that a yearly thing then?
So what we wanted to do again was because we were finding out that doing an event a year was not enough. So what we start doing is we have the bigger event, which is in November, December, whenever that time, and then we have smaller meet and greet events like the one we're having now in 28th, 29th, 30th of July in partnership with Hamleys, the toy store in Dubai. Okay. So we're hoping that's going to be good.
Yeah, we're definitely going to come.
For sure.
Down to
for this and the bigger one.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so how do you market yourself? Because you've got quite big over Instagram, TikTok.
Yes.
How do you do your marketing?
Well, we have an in-house marketing team that helps with all that kind of stuff, with the events and stuff like that. We have very good talent in a gentleman called Faisal. He's sitting there, but he doesn't want to be shown on the on the camera. But he's been helping with a lot of stuff and redesigning and kind of proposing of how the vision of marketing PR should be for the group. We use TikTok, we use obviously Instagram, Facebook, Reels, and
What about the
stuff
new
like
one,
that.
Threads?
I think it's just come out, right?
Just come out,
I was checking it yesterday. Look, for me, I think it's amazing because more competition.
that's
That went crazy.
Competition is always good, right?
Push more content out.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think-
Better for us.
Yeah, I think it was like 1 million users in 7 hours, something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, so that was.
I think they're setting up the boxing match between,
Zuckerberg and
yeah,
Musk.
Elon Musk.
I think they're going to use their platforms for it.
Yeah.
But it's brilliant, don't you think?
A lot of competition. So do you have competition? How do you stand out in the crowd?
Look, I have a lot of competition, and a lot of we're probably the only Emirati company that does all this stuff. So we have a lot of competition because of that. Another thing is, it's very different for me. For me, it's about my country, it's about my city, and about my people. So it doesn't really matter to me. I'll give you a small example. If it's done in Dubai or in Abu Dhabi or Sharjah or Fujairah, it still helps my country's GDP and my country's tourism, right? So it doesn't matter to me. For me, the main thing is I'm putting this up for the fans and trying to nurture young individuals, from the region. To me, it doesn't matter if you're from Pakistan, India, America, Korea, Algeria, UAE national, Saudi Arabian, as long as you are part of the UAE family, I will help and support. And obviously, our sector here, I'll help and support anyone. And we've helped a lot of people. We've actually, like I said, helped create a complete universe. So we even sponsor young artists, and we have a big artist alley every year. We had about 60 tables last year, and it was sold out as soon as we announced. Young artists, doing small things, stickers, other things like that. It was sponsored by one of our big sponsors, Haya Insurance, and they're a lot into supporting younger generation. You guys should go and check them out, guys. They're the first insurance which is digitally compatible. I mean, it's a company out of, again,
Is that just
out
in
of the
Dubai,
UAE.
yeah?
It's out of the UAE, yes. So anything out of the UAE, Arab, Asian makes me proud, and I try to push and help in any way I can.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like you are one of the first, or I think you are the first to have like a diverse universe in terms of the characters, the comics. So I feel like you're the first one in UAE.
Well, like I said, our concept is probably the first one.
Yeah.
Other people have tried, and we've learned from our mistakes and other people's mistakes. We don't call them mistakes; we call them experience. And I believe that nothing is impossible. Even impossible spelt I am possible.
Yeah.
So we follow our leadership. Like Sheikh Mohammed, His Highness Sheikh Mohammed was asked, the biggest building in the world, the biggest this in the world, and he's like, why not? So when my ruler is of that of that kind of a mindset, then you can expect his citizens how we're gonna think. For us, sky is not the limit. Now we say Mars is not even the limit.
The sky's not the limit; it's just a view.
Exactly.
So how do you get motivated?
I get motivated when I see the younger generation wanting to do and build, on the things that they're doing. And my own kids and stuff, I get a lot of motivation from our children. And that's why it's so important to protect them. With all the stuff going around in the world at the moment, I believe that if they have their morals, the integrity in place, and they can put all that to good use, I think that makes a big difference, Like you say, an ideal mind is a devil's playground, So we need to make sure that kids are motivated, but with the right things. MashaAllah, alhamdulillah, our rulers have made this into... Bob Layton calls this the Wakanda of the Arab world, so you can imagine, it's we have everything. we're really grateful, because if you want to go, to the mall, you can go to the mall. If you want to go to the cinema, you can go to the cinema. You want to eat, you go to the restaurant. You want to, work, you get pushed in the right direction, And the biggest thing here about Dubai and the UAE that nobody else has is our security. It's not probably, I think it's the safest place in the world.
Safest city in the world, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I feel like, hey, even if you leave, you leave your phone somewhere for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, anything, you can leave anything.
I'll give you a small example. Yesterday, right? So I ordered some food. So the guy comes in and I wanted to pay by cash. And he goes, sir, I don't have the right amount of change.
Yeah.
I'm like, fine. Just gave him the money.
Yeah.
And he goes, okay, I'll just go and come back. Gave me the food. Went, did the change order, then came back and gave me my money. I mean, it was crazy.
So this is one of your main businesses. Do you have any other ventures?
Well, many other things,
Yeah.
but this is our pop culture office, and we do a lot of everything pop culture and gaming and music and anything that's inspirational to inspire young entrepreneurs, biggerpreneurs or olderpreneurs like myself, and stuff like that. Yeah, but the rest of the family into real estate and other things. Yeah. But I think this is what I find.
This is your main focus.
It's my focus because it lets me do something with my family. That's, I think, the main reason I'm. Someone I don't remember who told me, and it's a quote that they say, "Love what you do, and you'll never work again in your life." This is what it is.
Yeah. So I've heard you also own the trademark to the Arabic comics.
Well, so what we did was we've just tied up with a few international names. We can't name them because we have an NDA signed, but we do all that kind of stuff in Arabic. So if you've seen any of these things that we had some agencies and rights and IP rights that we took from Warner Brothers and Disney and stuff, and we're printing stuff, Batman in Arabic, Disney in Arabic, Spider-Man in Arabic, with Warner Brothers and Disney and stuff. And now we're trying to work out things with some Japanese IPs and stuff like that. Plus we have our own universe that we're doing. Yeah. So, anything that you see around the UAE with Batman in Arabic and stuff is probably from us, That has a big market in the area.
Yeah. So how did that come about then?
Well, it came about because, why not?
Yeah.
Come back to the same thing. Why not?
Yeah.
We wanted it to be in Arabic. We're proud Arabs, proud Emiratis, proud Asians, and I wanted to make sure that we have that mark. When you go to Japan, you have Captain America in Japanese. You have Iron Man in Japanese. You go to Sweden or whatever you want to call it, it's in their language, Why not have it in Arabic? I would love it if they had the same thing. I think they already have it in India, in Indian, or in Pakistan in Urdu, right? And stuff like that. Why not?
Why not? Yeah.
I mean, why not?
You've got good ideas.
Well, thank you so much. I mean, like I said, it's probably something in the water here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been bred and brought up by our leadership, I would say. First of all, obviously Allah Subhanahu wa Taala, God, and then our leadership plays a big part.
So how do you obtain the mindset of creativity and business?
Well, it's like I said, since we're young, we're pushed and encouraged to do things that no one else does, and that's what makes us different, I feel, as Emirati nationals. And you'll find the same kind of mindset, not just in the locals, but any citizen that lives in the UAE. They're different.
What advice would you give to people in the rest of the world on how to create a business or maybe become an entrepreneur?
I think follow your gut feeling. Try to do something outside the box. Try to do something which has never been done before. Like yourselves, you guys are doing. You have the podcast, but you guys are concentrating on a very niche sector.
Strictly business and entrepreneurs.
So that's the same thing with us. So we're concentrating on a coffee shop and comic books and stuff like that. Things that
People haven't mainly done.
and especially here in this region,
Yeah.
it's a very niche and virgin market.
Yeah.
Like the first movie ever to be played in Saudi Arabia was Black Panther.
The first ever movie.
Yes. So you can show you what kind of influence pop culture and anime has in this region.
And when you first started, did you deal with any like challenges?
Oh, a lot. I'm even facing challenges today. You know, it's the mindset of some people who can't understand the transition. You know, like you have. If you tell someone, oh, this comic book is worth $30,000, they go, oh, what do you mean 30,000? Go back, but when you go and you check what it is, it's from 1941, 1942, time of World War II. These books are very, very rare to get, and it's a Batman #6, the sixth issue of a Batman in his own solo series. Things like that, these are the kind of challenges we face. So it's a lot about educating people to understand, what these are and how they can become collectibles and stuff like that.
So how did you overcome all the challenges?
Well, it took a bit of time, but like I said, with education, with hosting get-togethers, trying to create a community, doing the Comic Cons. Like I said, we had about 27,000 people that attended last year. It was huge.
Is that a ticketed event?
Yes, it was a ticketed event. Yes. So they paid for the ticket, and then they paid for signing and photographs, and obviously then you had the vendors there. You had other toy companies who it's a big get together.
Yeah. Are you just hosting these events in Dubai, or what about the rest of the world?
Well, they're probably bigger players than me around the world, but we've started with Dubai. We have plans to go into different parts in the Gulf.
More like areas in UAE.
Yes, different cities probably in the UAE, and then Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, other places. I mean, Sheikh, His Highness Prince Mohammed bin Salman has just announced, I think, about $4.2 billion for events and stuff. So you can see they're really, getting into this. Yeah, they're getting into the pop culture scene. And Abu Dhabi, by the way, has the leadership there is unbelievable. Some very nice guys, and I'm talking about the leadership of the tourism department. They're really pushing, and they are doing MEFCC now in Abu Dhabi and other things as well.
Definitely, yeah. I feel like dealing with businesses like this, it must get a lot busy, and sometimes it can get it can become a lot. It can become too much. So how do you deal with the work-life balance?
Well, I've learned that out of experience. So in the beginning it was every day. Now my eldest has become 19 years old. So I decided I have to give back some time to the family. So now on the holidays, 2 days a week, I don't do any work. So let's say today is Friday, Saturday, Sunday are now the holidays. Saturday, Sunday I don't work. And that is also happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah.
So that's yes.
So you met Steven Seagal as well. Is that
Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal, yeah.
Oh,
how was the interaction with him?
it's an unbelievable guy.
Yeah.
Unbelievable guy. Then you have a lot of people hating on him, but once you meet him, you understand the guy is legit, bro.
He can fight as well, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
he can fight.
he can, bro.
Is he a black belt? I think he's black.
Bro, he's a master. He's unbelievable. I mean, I have trained myself. I don't look it now, but I've trained in jiu-jitsu and stuff like that. But he's on a different level, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, if I would want to say someone who my idols are when I was growing up was Bruce Lee, Muhammad Ali, Steven Seagal, Jackie Chan.
You can't beat that. They're like the legends.
They're the legends, I mean, a lot of people hate, but the thing is, my grandfather used to say something to me. If someone talks about you, you're probably doing something right. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, true.
So I think with Steven Seagal, he's unbelievable, bro.
Did you come to visit your comic?
Oh, he did. He came to the store.
Yeah. Okay.
He did, and we're good friends. He came to the store.
Yeah, I feel like if someone talks about you, whether it's good or bad, they're still talking about you, right?
Yes, exactly.
So it's still you're still the topic of conversation.
Any marketing is good marketing, right?
Exactly.
Like they say. So yeah.
Any other A-list celebrities that came to your comic store?
We had Patrice Evra, who plays football.
Patrice Evra, yeah.
Man United, he came.
I'm a big United fan. So.
Bro, 100%. Me too. I'm a big United fan. I had he came. We've had many celebrities have come, but then over the years that I've been with them, we've hosted stars at the Comic Cons and other places like Jason Momoa at the MFCC. We've had Zachary Levi who played Shazam. We've had Anthony Mackie. He's going to be the new Captain America.
He's the new Captain America.
Yeah, now yes, Anthony Mackie is the new Captain America. We've had Ezra Miller, who was in The Flash. We hosted him. Actually, very funny. In 2019, everything was closed. Right, there was a pandemic going on. So me and Dr. Sharif, my wife, came up with the idea of doing a virtual Comic-Con. And we did a virtual Comic-Con, and that Comic-Con we had 459 million views. It's unbelievable. We called it Speedy Comics Con.
Yeah.
First it's kind of virtual Comic-Con in the region.
That was online, was it?
It was online. Okay. And we had the actor from Punisher, John Bernthal.
Punisher, okay.
We had Brandon Routh. We had about 18 celebrities. So that was big as well. So we've as Speedy Comics Group, PopCon, Pop-Up Con, the rest of the stuff, we've hosted a large number of celebrities and brought them to the region. Yeah. Not just them, we brought creators to the region. We brought Bob Layton, who co-created, like I said, Ant-Man, War Machine. We brought John Romita Jr., who's one of the biggest Spider-Man artists in the region. You name it. We brought, back, the region here has a lot of people that have come down here, So, I don't know. There's so many. I'm just thinking about, we brought Charlie Cox, Daredevil, actor. Yeah. We would love to bring, obviously brought Chris Hemsworth. We would love to bring maybe one of the Batman actors next year. Or Robert Downey Jr. or The Rock or someone.
The Rock would be good.
Yeah, that would be something.
Black Adam.
Yeah, Black Adam. I think that would be something that might be, showstopper, like we say.
If someone wants to join your community, how would they join?
Well, they can, go to our Instagram, which is Speedy Comics ME, or Popcorn ME, which is our events page. Or my personal account, which is Rashed Al Farooq.
Yeah, but also I think you met Cristiano as well.
That's a different part of... so I've met Cristiano Ronaldo in 2007. Yeah. I hosted him here with a couple of friends. Very nice guy.
Yeah.
I met Lionel Messi more than once as well in 2010. I used to go at that time to watch a lot of football. So for the Clasico.
Yeah, I've got a quick question for you.
Yes.
Who's better, Messi, Ronaldo?
I have a better question for you. Who do you think is better, Messi or Maradona? So does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay, so I thought the best player in the world was Maradona because that's what I grew up to.
It's a different era though.
Yeah, but the thing is now, I tell my children, my kids and my brothers and stuff, Messi, can't say better than Maradona because he hasn't won the World Cup. Now that he has... I can't say anything anymore. It has to be Messi.
I feel like that's with us as well. Like when we're older, we're gonna tell our generation is gonna say the new fish, and we're gonna be like, no, it's Cristiano.
Yeah,
or Messi. He's the best.
Yeah, but Cristiano is unbelievable. I mean, as an athlete, I think Cristiano is probably the better. But as a player, who's now the undisputed king of football, has to be Messi.
Okay.
I mean, for me, even though I'm a Man United supporter, I don't know, bro.
So how do you stay motivated? How do you stay inspired daily on a daily basis?
Well, inspiration, comes from. It's very funny you ask me this question because Bob Layton, who is like I said, is a close friend.
Yeah.
He told me something once. He's like, Rashid, never let that little boy with the red balloon die, in your heart and your mind. And that's what I do. I get up in the morning. I thank God for the new day and for, alhamdulillah, my kids and my family. And then, I try to inspire and motivate myself on trying to see how I can be better than what I was yesterday, and that keeps me going. So now that I'm planning to bring Rika, who's a voiceover actor from Japan, I'm thinking about how I can, wow the customer base and the clients and the fans and put on a show, if you've seen The Greatest Showman by Hugh Jackman, and his dream was to do the biggest show and the best show. This is what inspires me. I want to, if you're not number one, you're the first loser. Do you know what I'm trying to say? That's how it should be.
Yeah. So let's say if someone who wanted to start their own collection,
Yes.
what advice would you give to them?
Well, I always ask them 2 or 3 questions. First question is long term or short term.
Yeah.
Second question is, what's your budget? So there are books that I have bought. I'll give you an example. I had 10 books that I sent to get signed by Ray Porter, who plays Darkseid, and Zack Snyder, who created the Snyderverse, right? And called my friends. I'm like, listen, guys, I'm going to send these books to get signed. I'm charging for the book about $300, right?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, buy it. If these come back as 9.8s, which is like the highest grade you can get on a comic book, like for example, this is a 0.5, and that's a 2.5 that you have there. That's the grade of the book. I said, if this comes back, if this comes back as a 9.8, and that's a Superman, a very old one.
Yeah.
But I'm like, if that comes back as a 9.8, it'll probably be the rarest book to have for the Snyder Cut fans. Out of these guys, 2 of them bought the books, right? The rest I kept for myself. They all came back as 9.8s. Now that book, I sold one for about $20,000 recently.
20,000.
Yeah, over less than 6 months.
Yeah. How much was it initially worth then?
$10.
$10. That was
Nothing.
Quite a big turn.
Yeah, but you see, it all depends on like crypto.
Yeah.
Bitcoin is the Mac Daddy, right? But the thing is, you need to understand what to buy, when to buy.
Do you invest in crypto as well?
I do, and we accept crypto. Like I said,
Yeah.
you can come and buy my books for crypto. You can buy other stuff that we have for
Crypto
crypto.
friendly.
Yeah, we're probably the first in pop culture to accept crypto.
Do you have any other collectibles like supercars, watches?
This is a very nice brand that I'm wearing at the moment. It's I'm wearing it upside down. But
You said Patek and Rolex.
well, those, I like Patek, I like Rolex, I like. To me, I like a watch called Corum. I don't know if a lot of people have heard about that. The Golden Bridge. I feel Patek APs and stuff like that are all. A lot of people have them, so I like to have rare things which nobody else has, like my Batmobile, or like this is a company called Ogard, and they're coming up with some nice watches now. I feel it's not what you wear, but it's who that wears the watch. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's more important.
More important. Yeah.
Jacob & Co is a close friend of mine. I've known him for a long year. I don't know if we're still close friends, but I know him for a long time. And he has some beautiful watches, if you see.
Yeah.
But I think Patek would be one of my favorite watches, and then the Corum.
What about supercars? Quite big in Dubai. Are you into your cars?
I do. I like my Lamborghinis.
Yeah.
One
of my favorite as well. Which one, the Huracan or Urus?
Well, no, I like the LP640, the ones before they became Audi.
Aventador, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, before the Aventador.
P64 was it?
Yeah, LP640. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So that's and the SLR
McLaren.
I had one of those as well. That's a nice car.
Oh,
Those are 2 of my favorite cars. I'm more of a Lamborghini person, not a Ferrari.
Yeah.
That's nice. Yeah. So I know you got your shop on Dubai City Walk.
Well, we had it there, but now we're moving to Times Square Mall.
Times Square Mall.
And then doing some businesses with other vendors and stuff. But our HQ is now going to be in Times Square Center in Dubai.
Okay, was that your first shop at Dubai City Walk? Or?
No, it was our second shop at Dubai City Walk.
Second shop.
Now we're opening the one in Times Square, and then we're expanding all over the GCC.
Yeah, so
actually.
Planning to.
Different
more
places.
shops.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, where was your first shop located then?
It was in Al Barsha.
Okay.
in a smaller place. We would just test the waters. But then we did the thing is City Walk. We started City Walk and the pandemic hit. But we survived, thank God. And we are now looking to bigger and different things.
Yeah, no, that's good. So you're looking just is it just UAE or looking to expand
into the GCC? So Kuwait, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia.
Okay, yeah, that's nice. So what would you say is your favorite comic?
My favorite comic would be an Action Comics 1, the first appearance of Superman.
Oh, okay.
And then it would be a Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of Batman.
Yeah.
And then I would think Captain America #1, the first appearance of Captain America. Amazing Spider-Man, it would be the Amazing Fantasy 15.
Oh, okay.
Those are my top 4, and maybe a fifth one. I think could be a TOS, Tales of Suspense 39, first appearance of Iron Man.
Yeah. What would you say is your favorite superhero?
Has to be Superman.
Superman,
Yeah, for sure.
Not Spider-Man, Batman.
The difference between Superman and every other superhero is, every other superhero puts on a costume to become who they are.
Yeah.
But Superman puts on the glasses to become Clark Kent.
Yeah.
So Clark Kent is his alter ego.
What about Marvel?
Marvel?
You're into Marvel as well?
Yeah, so DC would be Superman, Marvel would be Spider-Man.
Spider-Man, yeah.
Because those are the two I grew up to, yeah.
What about Batman? You got the Batmobile and everything.
I love Batman, but Batman would come in a strong second.
Second, yeah.
So it would be, if I had to decide, it would be Superman, Spider-Man, and then Batman and Iron Man. Those are,
Yeah, I'd say Iron Man's probably a big one for me, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I prefer Batman.
Yeah,
Batman as well.
but you see, the funny part is, do you know why they used Iron Man as the first movie that they ever did in the MCU? Do you have an idea?
No.
Because they lost all the rights. Marvel sold all its rights in the 80s. So that's why Sony still owns Spider-Man. You see?
Okay, yeah. I remember there was something like that.
Yeah, so that's why they had Iron Man, and Bob Layton actually convinced Marvel to do Iron Man, and then that's rest is history with the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Iron Man was something no one really liked. And if you ask Bob Layton, he'll tell you that he wanted to give Iron Man a life because he was just some guy in a tin suit, So he gave him a friend, and which is Rhodey, who's War Machine later on. Yeah, but Iron Man's as class, yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. Would you ever look to maybe collab with them in the future, stuff like that?
Well, we're looking at making our own universes and stuff, and then probably see if it becomes really well known to go into try to collab with Marvel or DC. But Bob Layton, we are collabing. So some of our characters are being designed by people like Bob Layton, and a very close friend of mine passed away. His name was Kevin Conroy, who voiced Batman in the animated series. He was going to be doing one of the voiceovers for one of my characters, God bless his soul. But him and Ray Porter, who does the voiceover for Darkseid in Zack Snyder's Justice League, we're in talks with them. Try to see if they could voice some of our characters. So yeah, we're looking at a lot of collaborations as we speak.
Yeah, so your universe, you're looking to create that into movies and stuff like that as well?
We are. So we want to start an animation, do an animation or animatic series for it first, and then see how it goes from there, and then probably do a live action movie. We're working on the comic books, as you can see. We're working on the toys already for the kids. We'd like to have something like, a Happy Meal that we could give away at our cafes,
Collab,
Yeah, exactly. But we're not a collab with them, but do it for ourselves at Speedy Cafe.
Yeah, that's nice.
We have a lot of our signature drinks. I mean, I don't know if you've ever drunk a karak, but a cold karak,
Iced.
Yeah, iced karak, yeah.
I've drank one, I think.
Yeah.
London, yeah.
Yeah, so
It's nice,
we have that, we have that as well.
I prefer the warm ones.
Yeah. It depends on the day.
Yeah, it depends. I feel like in Dubai, you kind of have to have the cold
it
ones.
depends. It depends on which part of the month it is, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So what's next for Speedy Comics? What's the future plans?
Well, next for Speedy Comics is, I think we have our event coming up. We want to focus more on games, on animation.
What about AI, artificial intelligence? That's quite big at the moment.
It is, and we're working towards it.
Yeah.
We're working towards. There's a big project about to happen. Can't talk about it now, but we're trying our best to, see if we can come into the AI sector of things.
Oh, so that's your projects.
Well, we are trying our best, you know.
Yeah.
But you do know that UAE has the first minister of AI, only one in the world. You know, that's the first in the world who's the minister of AI. His name is His Excellency Omar Sultan Al Ulama. So he was, you know, the first minister of AI. So we're ahead of a lot of countries when it comes to AI, comes to, you know, all that kind of stuff, you know.
Do you reckon AI would like, how would it affect your business?
I think eventually it could be used for, you know, things like automating and other payment
Automation.
systems. Yeah, and other things. But, you know, our business is more about a journey, like I said.
Yeah.
There'll always be a place for you to come, see, touch, feel, try to understand what it is, you know. Now you have a lot of these NFTs and stuff. But it's not the same as owning something tangible that you could
a real life experience.
Exactly, you know. I believe that until people love that stuff, I think it will always be there.
Yeah, I don't think AI will completely take over everything because it will lose the kind of feel.
I don't think AI will take over everything, but I think it will take over the kind of jobs people do.
Like
You know
the
what I
boring
mean?
Stuff, like the boring
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah,
like that.
I think so.
So if I want to collect these items, where can I collect them from?
From our store
Yeah.
or from our websites. You know, we're revamping our websites as we speak. It's www.speedycomicsme.com. From the shows that we do, you know, we deliver all over the world.
So yeah, you mentioned the collectibles. So what would you say is like let's say if someone wanted to start their own collection, where would you direct them towards?
Well, it depends. Like I said, if you're a Marvel fan, I'll tell you to buy a Spider-Man comic book. If you're a DC fan, even though I love Superman, I'll tell you to buy a Batman comic book.
Yeah.
You know, depending on what it is. And like I said, if it's long term and you have the budget or the cash for it, I'd ask you to buy a Golden Age book. You know, Golden Age book is the 1940s and stuff like that, 30s and 40s. What makes a big difference in all these kind of things are the first appearances, the story arcs, what they are, you know, any relevance to the story of what's going on.
Yeah.
So if a guy would come and tell me, listen, Rashed, you know, I have £5,000 or $5,000, I'd tell him, you know, buy a first appearance of Venom, which is an amazing Spider-Man 300, you know, for the suit. That's a nice book to get. Yeah. And everybody loves Spider-Man and Venom, you know. That's that would be something I would tell them to buy, and then probably buy a Batman book or a Superman book, you know.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to give an example. The first time Deadpool appeared was in New Mutants 98, and that's not an old book, you know.
Yeah.
So now if you have and it also all depends. If you're buying a newer book, which is a Bronze Age or a New Age, you should get them at a 9.8 as a grade, you know, because everybody has them. The reason why these older books still hold value is because there are not many of them around.
They're rare, very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah. What about in general? Like, what advice would you give for business in general?
So in general, you know, first of all, don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know. Buy books, a lot of big things now are the games. You have the graded games, you know. Buy Funko Pops, buy comic books, you know, diversify into every kind of pop culture, you know.
Yeah.
And very soon everything is going digital, so these things are going to go up in price.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like the olden days, you know. Even money, currency. If you have some very good currency in good condition, get them graded.
Yeah.
You know, have them graded.
So would you say spread the risk when first starting out?
For sure.
A lot of people have Pokemon cards now graded.
Yeah.
You can see Logan Paul bought one for 5.2.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the most expensive collectible you got?
Has to be my Action Comics 55 signed by both the creators of Superman.
How much was that?
That is probably priceless at the moment. But Superman, a copy of Superman 1 just sold for about $5.2 million.
You sold it?
$2 million.
Yeah, $5.2 million was just sold by someone in America. I have a copy of that.
Okay.
I have a copy of Superman 1. I have actually 2 copies of Superman 1. I have a Detective Comics 27. So these kind of books are books which are, you know.
Yeah, well, where do you like collect like all of these things from? Like,
I started collecting since I was 9 years old, like I said, back in England. But I collect from different places,
Places, yeah.
auction houses, old people, older people who are old collectors of this stuff. See, the reason these books are 1920s and 1930s, 1940s, they used to go to the mesh, and people were at war, the Americans, and they would read them and then bring them back after the war's finished.
Yeah.
And in those days, like look at this book, right? It's only 10 cents when it came out, right? And look at that, there's 10 cents.
Yeah. How much would you say it is now then?
A couple of $1,000.
Couple of thousand.
Easy with the eyes closed. That's probably worth about $10,000.
Crazy,
Yeah,
So you'd say if to someone that if they have something rare, just hold on to it.
obviously hold on to it, and it shoots up in price.
So,
Like these books were worth nothing before the movies started to come out, and just the prices started to skyrocket.
so is that just with like comics or like other
I think
things?
with everything, like even the Funko Pops, you would get this for like $10, and now it's worth a couple of $1,000s. Like I had a headless Ned Stark, if you watch Game of Thrones, and that pop was like $10, and now it's selling for $4,000. So it all depends on how rare it is, if they will do another line of it, or will they stop producing after a certain amount.
Yeah, let's say you like a certain thing, like it's completely rare. How do you go about like finding it?
So there's a lot of fake in the market nowadays. So you have to look at it, examine it, find out. Like I'll give you a small example. Now, if I was to grade this book, if this had a little tag here or something like that here, it would bring the value of the book down. It's like getting a watch. A brand new watch is obviously going to be more expensive than a used up watch.
Of course.
Yeah.
But with books like these, the Supermans and the Batmans and stuff, you can't actually determine what you're going to get in hand, because they're rare. You can get a nice batik for $100,000, a little beat up one for $70,000, but a beat up Superman #1, a beat up would be probably $200,000.
Oh, that's crazy. How do you test the authenticity for that then?
You have companies like CGC, CBCS, who you send them to, and they verify the comic book, they grade the book, the quality of the book, and so forth.
So you use third parties?
Yeah. There are 3 companies that do that in the States only.
Okay, that's nice.
For books, but for cards, you have Beckett, JSA, PSA, and CGC and stuff.
How much amount of money have you invested into all this collectibles?
Has to be in the millions.
Millions, yeah?
Yeah.
And what's the value now, total value?
Like I said, it's hard. It's hard to say because I bought these at a very low prices. But like a similar comic book now, like I said, I bought my Superman one for $5,000. It's a copy sold for $5.3 million. You see what I mean?
So you say it's priceless. You can't
It's priceless.
Priceless.
It's priceless. It depends on what it's worth. I mean, depending on approximately, these things keep going up and up and up.
Yeah,
so I
price
wouldn't be
going
able
up.
to. I wouldn't be able to give you a certain amount, and I think it's that worth that much. No.
It's a priceless, we say.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is priceless. For people who want to, people who really want to collect,
Okay.
they should start with something small. Something you're passionate about, learn about it, do your research about it, and then try to come and buy smaller amounts of stuff, and hold it out. It's like cryptocurrency or anything else. You would come in and you'd buy Bitcoin if you'd listen to Da Vinci when he was telling people to buy it for $1.
Yeah.
Now Bitcoin is worth $30,000 after the up and down because we're in a bear market, and I think it's going to reach $100,000. That's what I think.
By what year? What do you reckon?
I think by the next bull market. I think it already reached 60 something, right?
But it already dropped.
It doesn't matter.
It fluctuates, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't really matter, but it fluctuates, yeah. But I'm a big believer in XRP, by the way.
XRP.
Yeah.
What about Dogecoin?
No. I think XRP and XLM are my coins. That's the ones I would like because, I'm a banker by profession.
Yeah.
And I like things that are tangible or something that it does. But, I told you guys, so buy XRP. Okay.
Cool, yeah. So before we wrap this podcast up, we'll end with our final question. So do you think money buys happiness?
I don't think money buys happiness, but for sure it helps in making you happy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. All right. Thanks, Rashed, for joining us today. We really appreciate your time.
Same here,
It's
brothers.
been a wonderful conversation. Really
Thank
learned
you.
a lot.
Thank you. We I hope you guys go from strength to strength. And please do come and visit us at the con,
Inshallah.
at the popcorn, and inshallah, when the vault is back up, we'd love to show you some amazing
Love to
stuff.
come
Okay,
see it, yeah.
Definitely.
Thank you for coming on our podcast. And
anytime.
If anyone could find you on social media, what's your
Yeah, so it would be the website would be www.speedycomicsme.com, and Instagram would be speedycomics @speedycomicsme, and the events would be popcornme.
Yeah.
And my personal one is Rashed Al Farooq at Rashed Al Farooq.
So guys, make sure you go follow him. Make sure you follow all the websites and all of that. If you're in Dubai, make sure you come and visit his store and come visit the was it the popcorn?
Yes, for sure.
The popcorn. Make sure you visit the popcorn. That's in November, right?
That's November. But if you guys are here in July, 28th, 29th, 30th in Dubai Mall in Hamleys.
come check it
Guys,
out.
make sure you come. And thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
And if you want to learn more about business and cash flow, make sure you subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.